the implication that the trolls have just given up? That like in the past they were investigating girlfriends he had by the tattoos on their fingers, but like they didn't realize he lied about cancer for 2 consecutive years. Like he got so irrelevant they just stopped caring.
That is the end point, surely. That's the only place he has left to go.
Narcissism. This is going to be a fairly self-indulgent video because I want to talk a lot and I'm going to complain a lot, and hopefully you guys can bear with me because this is going to be kind of like
I was tortured from a very early age, in pretty much every way imagined.
My childhood sucked. We grew up very poor. My mom was crazy. My dad was an alcoholic.
I've been different my whole life. I grew up poor. I grew up overweight. I was sick all the time. When I got to be a teenager, I liked things that other people in my town didn't like. I was physically unhealthy, mentally unhealthy. I just gotten out of a bad relationship. Not that my family didn't have money, just that I didn't ever see any of it. Instead, what I got was a family that left me with a lot of baggage, a lot of poisons. I've been big the entirety of my life. I was in 4th grade. I weighed about 50 pounds more than the others. Outside my home, I was made fun of. I was mocked. The best of the kids in my high school just left me.
Just a fucking constant slurry of...
Constantly.
Look how hard I've had it.
Pity me.
Alone. The worst of them put bras in my locker. I was heavier than the other kids by 25, 50 pounds because I had parents that were neglectful and directly harmful to me, who damaged me in every way. My mother and my father, or my mother and one of the kids, or my brother and my sister fighting, or even me fighting with my mother, or whatever. This is the kind of stuff that we were used to.
This is why, by the way, he's told the stories so many times. They're all different, and they all have like different antagonists that did different levels of things.
You got to write this shit down.
Yep.
You know, if you're going to start telling lies like this and playing the long game, you got to start writing this shit down.
He's going to write himself a law book of all his lies.
That's the beauty of truth. That's the beauty of
a lore book
truth.
for this, yeah, the lie he's going to tell.
Because if you tell the truth, you never have to lie.
Get spanked. I get slapped in the face a little bit. Another thing I would really consider abuse. And it's true that I was anxious and depressed because of my bad past. To meet you guys and have you tell me how I've changed your life, how I've helped save you, how I've helped move you in the right direction, how I've helped at least help you pass the time and make your life a little easier. That's all I ever wanted when I started YouTube. Making these videos has never been about the money. It's never been about the views. I mean, for a while there, I was very focused on that, and much to my own detriment. But once again, I'm no longer focused on that anymore. My goal is to entertain myself, to make things that I want to make, to talk about things that I want to talk about, and hopefully, just maybe, inspire somebody out there to either be more successful than me, to do better than me, to learn from my stupid mistakes, or in a few rare cases, learn from the handful of things I got right. I want to tell the whole story here, but I think that would take an hour or longer to tell. So I'm just going to cut to some of the highlights. I'll use a few examples of some of the worst abuse
my depressing past
that I ever dealt with.
So that is the reason why I made sure this clip was in here. He is describing a very personal story about how his mum abused him significantly, and at the beginning he says, I'm going to cut to the highlights.
Yeah.
Like you know that this is specifically being made for the views. It's got nothing to do with him expressing himself. Like he's literally going to cut parts of the story out because he's like, I don't want you to be bored.
Let's cut to the good part.
God.
And some of the worst things that were going on in my home. But I want you to know that that just barely skims the surface of the stuff that me, my brother, and my sister went through.
Yeah, and don't worry, guys, there's more. Even if you like this, I got more. I got so many stories of me being abused.
Oh, this is just...
You're going to feel so bad for me.
I can make a whole YouTube channel about my abuse as a child.
You guys are going to give me so much money.
Small portion of it. I do think I'm no longer afraid to say the things I want to say or stand up for the things I want to stand up for, like access to healthcare and education, equality amongst people here in the United States, people doing the right thing.
He's so brave.
He wants equality and the right thing. Look how he describes holding the positions of I want the right thing.
Kind to each other. These are things that
I too want right thing.
Because I support good things.
Yes.
I also support good thing.
Oh,
that's fantastic.
We am friend.
Kind to each other. These are things that I have been afraid to talk about, because when you talk about
he's been afraid to talk about doing right thing,
being nice, kind, and doing the right thing. It's a struggle to talk about those sorts of things.
He's so brave.
Love and treating each other nicely. The people who don't like that stuff attack you, and it was really
the people who don't like
people who
nice.
People who no agree with nice make me hurt, feel bad.
Yeah. Poopy pants people.
Really hard for a while. Really hard for a while to handle that, and it was bad for the career. But Honestly, now attack me all you want. It really doesn't matter.
Oh, all
you
right.
can't do much worse than show up.
I love when Boogie says, "I will be your martyr."
Oh yeah.
I will.
Oh,
your
he
martyr.
loves doing that.
There's a
He loves
specific
doing
clip
that.
for that. We got it in here.
Yeah. Oh, the old time.
We all know that clip. Yeah.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Classic.
Yes,
Front
you do.
door, and that's already happened, so that's good.
Glad that I was able to help draw attention to this, and so glad it actually happened.
You guys know this story? It's fucking good. It's a classic Boogie story, this one. By the way, before we continue, 2018. So think how long ago he was doing this exact same shtick, because this is the same thing you do today.
Way to go, Internet. We did something awesome. Boogie didn't actually do anything, aside from 2 retweets about the cause. The man who was a victim of terminal cancer died soon after, and Boogie had nothing to say about that. My late friend got to play the new Smash shortly before he died as a result of a pretty...
You think Boogie would just be like, man, I wish that was me.
Yeah, wish I died of cancer.
If I could, if I could change places with her right now, I would. Okay.
Really, Boogie? Like, no.
Yeah, fuck it. Because, so just this awesome story of Nintendo giving access to a Smash game early because of, cancer patient, they're gonna die. And then Boogie being like, we did it. And then everyone looks at him like, what do you mean we did it? What have you even done? He's like, I retweeted.
We're just shocked that Nintendo would do that. So.
Well, and to have then the post of a friend of this person making clear to the world Boogie's involvement.
The man who was a victim of terminal cancer died soon after, and Boogie had nothing to say about that. My late friend got to play the new Smash shortly before he died as a result of a pretty big media campaign, which was promoted by professional Smash players. Boogie, of course, inserted himself into it, and in a comment, he clarified, I'd also like to reiterate that him not saying anything after my friend died is not my issue here.
It kind of is indicative, though. He didn't even,
yeah.
My issue is that he inserted himself into this as if he made any kind of impact on my friend getting to play Smash. He acted like he had a personal involvement by saying, look what I did. If Boogie was not known for saying things to get attention, this would not bother me in the slightest.
Crying my eyes out.
That's so, like...
Isn't it just like Boogie, though? That's, like, classic.
Yeah. God damn, though. Like, but why would you do that?
That's a classic Boogism.
Why would you do that?
My stream, getting angry and getting hurt, because I feel compelled to respond. I was never somebody who left YouTube comments, who interacted with people on Twitter, and then eventually once I started getting attacked, I started responding to people in comment sections on Twitter, and now I can't stop. And when I see somebody attack one of the ideas...
Which feels like an important thing to note. Like, Boogie was never good at this in terms of being manipulative. The difference was that it was really easy when all that he was getting was constant adoration. But the second that it started to get a little bit tricky, that kicked off the end.
It would be like
it's like a picky engine that you're always giving the very best fuel all the time, and you think it's a great engine, but the moment you're not giving it the perfect fuel, it starts to sputter and crash, and you realize, oh man, this has been a shitty engine the whole time. I just never knew it.
You would have 100 people say he's great, one person says he's not great, and then you would like fucking specifically go up to them and be like, so, what's going on? I feel for you, I love you, and you don't love me, and I just wanted you to understand that, that it's important to me that your feelings are, that you're taken care of, but it would be nice if you didn't say these horrible, horrible things to me, these cruel things that could lead me to take my own life, so maybe stop. And then, someone would just like, that was kind of weird that he said that, and then he does it again, and
same
again.
things to that person.
Yeah.
ideas that I hold dear.
Like, it's the thing that I would protest if someone's saying he changed. It's like, no, he didn't. No, he just like, what happened was he started to reveal who he really was.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't think he changed because the fact that the pattern, you can see it go back like right even to the very beginning. It's just that it got way harder to maintain the facade.
Yeah, the environment shifted such that he couldn't keep it up anymore.
Yep.
I go on the offensive. I don't mean to do it. I don't want to do it. I can't stop doing. I'm the most easily trolled person on the internet. I think we know that by now. I like voicing my opinions, even when they're unpopular, even when they get me in trouble.
That's not true. That's so funny that he says that. It's not even. It's unpopular opinion, and people should be nice to each other, and people should be able to go to the hospital. Like, oh yeah, no, these profound, like earth-shattering. But how do you square it away with your fiscally conservative stance, though, Boogie? Huh? You're socially liberal, fiscally conservative. Oh wow. That's daring today, aren't we?
I like talking about the things I want to talk about. I know it upsets a lot of people, sometimes very, very stupid people. And I also
They're
like
just
the part
so
where
unreasonable.
I own the very, very stupid people on Twitter. That's what Twitter is. It's now a toxic playground. And that's how people
always was, bro.
That's
wanna
the fucking
play it.
internet, dude. It was way worse before as well, like in 2010 and shit, right?
Oh shit, yeah, before they got.
It was just that everyone knew what they were getting into, and everyone was thick-skinned, and it was worse, but everyone knew it. Everyone was prepared for the environment, so it felt
it was based
way better.
You could say slurs on Xbox Live, amazing.
You could send, dude. Xbox let you send voice messages to people.
Yes,
you could just send. You could just you could just send voice messages to people.
It was great.
Man. Oh fuck me!
The
Some
Wild
of the messages
West.
I did.
They were gifts, Rags. When you killed someone,
they were gifts. I should have cherished them.
When you if you ever decided I'm gonna camp and I kill like a person, you note their name and you do it to them 3 times in a row, no matter what strategy they do, and then a message pops up, you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Yeah,
it was
you
the old
fucking
West.
piece of fucking. What, you get love, you fucking. Oh, feed me,
now
baby.
Now we're in the era of Red Dead Redemption. The old West is gone. More civilization.
Did you misgender person in the video game?
all of these games now have got these like fair play. Like, I don't know, the code of conduct you got to follow. You can't be mean to someone. You get banned for being mean now.
Well, dude, remember the emblem like customization in Black Ops?
Oh yeah, like Battlefield 3 had it. Black Ops.
They're not bringing it back, and people are like, "Why are they bringing it back?" It's like, you know why they're not bringing it back.
You know why. Because some people made some fucking beautiful works of art, and they just. Oh man, I'm so glad that I was around for games before they got totally cucked.
Oh yeah,
man, gaming used to be fun.
I hate to admit, as nice as I've wanted to be my whole life, as nice as I've always wanted to be, when it comes to just owning.
Look, I can't just be nice. It's not something. It's not an action I could just take.
He's just like, because it sounds like almost kind of dull as a criticism, but he captures narcissism perfectly. He is such a fucking textbook example. I'm just so good. I'm so good. Ugh.
And people hate that I'm so good. Isn't that bad?
It's gotta be it.
Somebody who's so
and then you tell him that. You tell him, we're like, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I'm
so
sorry.
awful.
I'm a narcissist.
I need to work on it, and I will.
But I'm trying every day, and I'm working on it, and I'm so sorry that you feel that way. All right.
Yeah, this reminds me of when I tried to kill myself in 2019, and boy, I'm just so glad that after the abuse I suffered as a child, I finally found
stupid. He's doing damage to me or other people. I've kind of learned to enjoy it. Sad but true.
He decided to post a donation he made to a mental health charity, even going as far as showing the exact amount, an action which also drew criticism.
So I do.
Yeah, if he ever does anything nice, he needs to make sure the whole world knows, even if there's no context. Like, look at what I did, everyone.
Can't just do it in private. Can't just do it in silence.
Yeah, it's the preying on street corners stuff. It's there's a lot of truth in that story.
It's the same thing we were watching the other night with the cancer stuff. It's like, guys, I've donated $10,000 to charity, and that's a good thing. And when people who donate to charity do, is they help kids who are dying with cancer. So that's what I did.
They're like, yeah, it's a good thing you did.
This is what I mean. And you're not even exaggerating the way he says it. He's so clumsy with fucking English. I am good for having done this. Really,
I am the good person who does the good thing.
And then in his brain, he'd be like, "Wait, Boogie, you better be smart about this, otherwise they'll notice you're priding yourself too hard. You gotta throw in some self-deprecation." He's like, "But I am awful, and I'm coming through that. I really am."
Like, and in his head, he's like, "Yes, nailed it."
Yeah, they'll never know.
Yeah.
Well, when he was panicking the other day, he was trying to feign humanity by being like, all right, well, I'm getting exposed right now. Let me tell them a story that maybe I am the bad guy in that. So I can try to get people thinking about something else. So his brain was like, okay, let's say that I'm abusive. Let me tell the audience that I'm abusive. Okay, that's what we're going to work with. And then he's like, so when I had a girlfriend, she was hitting me and I needed to protect myself. So I pinned her to the bed. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that. And he can't even make himself out to be the villain. Yeah, he has to write the story in his mind where he's sympathetic, even though he's the quote unquote abuser.
She was trying to burn an orphanage. I swear, I had to stop it.
I had to kill her, but when she was committing the Holocaust, it was the only way.
Listen, what's even worse than the Holocaust is when she took all my Mountain Dew and she started pouring it down the sink. Remind me of that time at the airport.
What a bitch.
Yeah, leave her.
Boogie is...
You should get her into a small room and start smashing her against the wall.
Therapy.
Yeah, maybe if I write runes all over the interior of the closet, it'll make me seem reasonable.
It'll protect you from reality.
All the time.
I think that the issue here is that Boogie is, I guess you'd call him a morality tactician. He practices tactical morality. He's just really bad at it.
He's an optics. Sure. It's all about the optics.
Because someone who is a really good moral tactician would seem like a really good person when they're actually a piece of shit, but he's just really bad at it.
It's the one thing.
Know he's a piece of shit.
We've talked about it a couple times, but it's the one thing that bothers me about anyone's assessment of his whole thing, which was that he was a good manipulator. He was very good at it. It's something he honed over the years. Like, no, he was never, ever, ever good.
He was never good at it.
He just never needed to be good at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, the pressure was really low. All he had to do was be like, "I'm nice."
Yeah,
be chill.
He's the kind of animal, like the survival of the survival of the fittest, basically. Boogie is the creature that can only thrive in a very, very, very specific set, of criteria for an environment.
Well,
and the
like
moment it starts to shift, he's like a frog.
Right?
Well, as was mentioned about the rape, sexual abuse, or suicide and mental illness, all these things he's drained over the years for all they're worth. Because, as I think Az was mentioning, these are subjects that you get a lot of sort of benefit of the doubt from because humans don't typically lie about them. It's not you don't. If you're a normal person, you feel bad lying about it. So then you assume when someone else is talking about it, you're like, you must be
questioning it, or even questioning it.
Yeah, and that's people. Well, there's a character in Atlas Shrugged, Francisco de Anconia, who said his big thing was the most foul person that can exist, the most evil man is the person who will weaponize someone else's guilt and good nature.
Yeah.
There's no worse human being than that kind of a person who takes advantage of someone else's goodness.
I read what you guys have to say. I farm for compliments on Twitter and elsewhere. A lot of people are being very critical about the job that I'm doing here on YouTube, which is welcome, by the way. I read your comments. I read your tweets. In fact, I spent the last 8 hours when I should have been sleeping reading your comments and trying to determine what I was going to say in this video today.
So that means this video is going to be really fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now that we've established that.
Pure insight.
Yeah. Oh, man. If I spent 8 hours just sitting thinking about what I was going to say in a video.
It was pretty casual, right? To be like, I spent 8 hours reading comments on my videos. Like, jeez.
I wonder if he considers that work. Well, I'm reading comments and I do YouTube, so that's work.
Yeah, that's work.
Good shit. That said, some of you seem to be overly critical to an extent, and I don't really understand what it is I'm supposed to do to please you on a daily basis on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on web forums, no matter where my videos get posted and shared.
Must get itchy under there.
There are people
like under that big, you know what I mean? Must get itchy, like beneath the blob.
Yeah, it probably does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Maybe he's used to it.
Fat sitting on your neck the whole time. That's got to be
swaying back and forth with the stubble.
Well, it's got to be like it's got to sweat under there. You know?
I mean, yeah. God,
I've never had neck sweat before. I guess like when I go outside in the summer heat and I like run and exercise, I'll get but not like when I'm just sitting.
And then
the natural state isn't that it just sweats.
I'm just saying, like it's got to be really uncomfortable.
Which is he's really caught in a terrible conundrum here because
Dude,
you need the beard to hide it aesthetically, but that compounds the issue. That gives it more insulation, which will encourage it to sweat more. So you really have to. How much is Boogie willing to suffer for aesthetics?
I'm just thinking, like, surely it would be so uncomfortable that you would feel compelled to do something about it, because, like, that's got to be.
We settled into it. It's like the thing I said before about humans being versatile and being able to accept, things and to adapt.
We're really good at acclimating to our present situation.
He's acclimated to that just being, well, I guess my neck just sweats on itself, and that's life.
Sweats on itself.
But luckily, if I drink this Mountain Dew, I won't have to think about it for a little bit. So there you go.
Nice way to
I
put
would
it.
keep like a folded up like a napkin in there. Like you'd fold up a napkin and you just kind of put it in there to kind of soak it up a bit.
Switch it out every.
That's probably what
I
I'd
don't know,
do.
So often.
I'm just imagining.
Yeah, like a tampon. You put some
like an
tampons
inventory
underneath
system.
the. Stick
I'm
it in
just
there.
imagining an inventory system that's just lifting up folds to retrieve.
Oh, it's like Alone in the Dark, but Boogie version, where he just like moves the folds around. He looks down.
Is that how you switch between the items in your inventory?
Well, I lift up the fold here, and I got my healing items. I lift up the one over here,
Like
and I got my
Batman's
spare Mountain
utility belt.
Dews. Yeah, I got my utility folds, and I can keep all sorts of wonderful things here. I got a spare Hershey's bar, and
There are people who are constantly ripping into me. I basically I can't check Reddit on a single day or Twitter on a single day without seeing somebody say, I used to watch him, but I don't watch him anymore.
Dude, it killed him to not have 100% of people approving it of his videos.
Bro, it's the gene. I'm telling you,
Yes.
it's the lolcow gene.
Stop looking. Literally, you can just stop looking.
No,
It'll
he
make sure
can't.
life
He,
makes
he
sense.
cannot stop looking.
This was genuinely like a YouTuber university thing that would need to be taught to any up-and-comer that wasn't taught to the initial set. You cannot be a popular YouTube and not have people despising you. Like that is just the reality.
Part of the game. You want fame? Well, this is you get. It's like the Jafar when he gets turned into a genie. He's like, you want this? Well, you're gonna get everything that comes along with it.
Yeah, but it's like just you can turn off your computer. You can turn it off and go watch TV, or you can put your phone down. You don't have to be on social media all day.
You just don't have to check. You can just go. It like in this case, it literally would be better if you just like buried your head in the sand and carried on with life. Just go. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't fucking matter what they say. Carry on. Who gives a shit? Go.
Because he's manipulative and he's a whiner and he's a baby. And it's because they talk about the mental and physical issues that I'm facing every day.
Yeah, see, that's what it is. He's talking about his issues and everyone hates him for it. That's so sad.
I mean, to a certain extent, why do you need to make it everybody's business that you have problems? Everybody's got problems.
I just see it as redundant fucking information.
Everyone's got problems. Yeah.
You've talked about it like 10 million times.
Some people just don't like that, and other people consider it to be manipulative and shitty.
I've received a lot of negative attention, and I do not like negative attention. I like positive.
I thought you don't
care.
Put
on a fucking shirt.
No, I thought he didn't care. What's going on? He said he didn't care. Remember?
Hey, that was a whole different Boogie.
That was yesterday. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care.
That was
it's like
yesterday, Boogie. Today, Boogie does.
Well, it's like that Arthur C. Clarke short story, Yesterday's Boogie. It's really good. It's very introspective. There's so much to say.
Attention.
But what about the time that Total Biscuit died of cancer? And
here we fucking go.
Everyone, fucking Total Biscuit.
He was only 33.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
We were robbed. We were fucking
absolutely, we were
robbed.
fucking robbed. And then
We were
I
fucking
remember this
robbed.
happening. Everyone was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, Boogie?"
in Boogie's community post that was meant to remember him, he mentions how Total Biscuit threw him under the bus in the name of consumer rights. John once also threw me under the bus in the name of consumer rights. A PR company was promoting what almost came down to paid reviews, and John broke the story. I was working with that PR company at the time, and while my contract was different,
It's very inconsistent. He doesn't even capitalize John's name. He does at the beginning, but that might be automatic. And then
I just can't fucking believe he included this.
This is
like, why would you include this when you're talking about a man who's just
It's
died?
because he really didn't like him.
he
really
threw
didn't
me
like
under
him,
the
but
bus.
He wanted the clout of like saying goodbye, but he
Paragraph
also
4, tremendous mentor and friend, but look at how he fucked.
When are you
me.
ever going to get to talk about Total Biscuit again so you can tell the internet how much he wronged you? Oh, you're never going to? I'll just put it in there.
The fact that
Don't
this was his telling of the events, and you're on John's side just from reading Boogie's context, which is they basically had paid reviews, and John was like, "Don't do that," and then I did it. It's like, yeah.
Whoa, that sounds familiar. Coffeezilla.
If you talk about yourself in a eulogy or in remembrance of somebody, then generally the context is they made me a better person, or I wouldn't be who I am today without them, or I owe them so much. That is like the proper, typical, normal person way to do it. But Boogie's
Hey,
so
was
bad
like,
at just
how was your-
everything.
This is the guy who's like, yeah, how was your summer? Oh, I haven't been to Disneyland in a while. I've been going to Disneyland for years. I love Disneyland. He just wants to talk about himself. He has no interest in actually doing the...
I do remember when TB died. There was some very vocal, hideous people in the gaming industry
that started posting like celebratory tweets and stuff like that.
Oh,
Boogie with his fence sitting, he wanted to say something positive, but he also wanted to appeal to that crew as well.
There's several things across the internet's history that have made me lose complete faith in humanity, and I remember that one. The amount of posts I saw that was celebrating his death, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You still see some weird messages about him pop up every now and again.
It's because of like, Gamergate and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like these people are deranged. They're fucking deranged, and that's their world.
His whole thing was we should be honest and have integrity. It's like, wow, what a fucking monster.
I remember I did a video at the time just saying how TB was one of my big influences in starting YouTube, which is true. And I just remember going through some of the comments and just people just like, yeah, what about Gamergate though? What about stats of Gamergate? You're just like, what?
No, yeah, it's insane.
What is wrong with
the
you?
People, the individuals, like in the lives they led, don't matter beyond this fucking cause that whatever the I still can't get over the fact that this is here when it didn't even need to be. Nobody cares about a game that you were paid to review positively now, Boogie. Like, why would you even bring this up? All you had to say was something positive about Job. He couldn't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, you just know when he found out that Total Biscuit died, the first thing he thought about was like that fucking review.
Yeah.
But how can
he
this
had to come
benefit
from
me?
Well, he's probably stupid enough to think that like this was the main reason for his downfall or something, or like a lot of blame gets put on. Like, John, if you only hadn't done that, I'd be in a better standing with my fans. So thanks.
Or just somehow to try and garner some sort of, again, sympathy from. Oh, he did a poopy to you, Boogie. Are you okay? You know, this sort of thing where he sucks up. He's like a manipulative vacuum cleaner. He just sucks it up, sucks all the energy out of people.
I talked to John about it.
How dare Total Biscuit die from cancer before me?
I know.
He's literally jealous.
He's stealing the moves.
He stole my idea.
That was the only thing that gave me joy in life.
Now that he's dead, he will never have the chance to correct the misinformation he spread about my video game reviews.
Well, the fact that
he's robbed all of us of that
robbed.
The fucking line there, dude. I talked to John about it, and he said I shouldn't be working with shady companies if I didn't want to be connected to shady things. Like, yeah, that was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Contract was different than the other contracts, I got lumped in. I talked to John about it, and he said I shouldn't be working with shady companies if I didn't want to be connected to shady things. He was more than glad to sacrifice anything in the name of consumer advocacy, including me.
Including me?
The way it's fucking worded.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He sacrificed
it's that
here that's
snipe
worded
at the
well.
end. It's
like, there's
that
a way to include
little...
this. It's like he even held his friends accountable for things. That's the kind of stand-up guy he was. Is like a way that he could have said that better, I guess.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, that's the thing. You can't fucking resist. You can sense the tone of that post, which is, yeah, TB. You know, he took it too far a few times, and he hurt me.
Wow.
Fuck off.
Stuck in bed for as long as I can remember. I hate it. I just want to do more. I just want to do more. I want to be more. I want to go more. I want to be alive. The stuff you guys take for granted.
Reddit and other negative feedback loops combined with
you can do all of these things.
Yeah,
you
yes, he fucking
get
can.
Up your fat ass and do it.
And him once again be like, "You all take it for granted." Like, excuse you, mate. Like, fucking speak for yourself. Way more applicable to him.
Mental illness has made me suicidal as well, but I have been bullied my whole life, and it has in fact made me strong enough to endure it. Not sure I could be in Etika's shoes and survive it though. He has it rough.
You guys remember this? He's injected himself into Etika. It was like, what the fuck?
Many people were upset because they felt that Boogie took a tragic situation that devastated so many people and tried to make it about himself. And to add insult to injury, he felt the need to brag about how strong he was too, making things even worse.
I used to love Boogie. I used to trust him, but now that I know that he's a liar and a manipulator, I no longer know who to turn to.
In one video, he would tell his audience that he's never been happy once in his life.
It's fine. I'm used to being miserable, right? I've been miserable for 45 years. I don't suspect it's going to change anytime soon.
Then, in another, would tell fans how he is now truly happy for the first time ever. Was he lying back then and telling the truth now?
So he's never happy when he was married to Desi.
Yeah, his engagement was the happiest he's ever been.
No, he's happy with Desi too.
Okay,
that's what he reached true joy.
Is he telling the truth?
Desi Boogaloo.
and lying now.
What I'm saying here is, yes, of course, I like getting lots of views on topics about trending topics, but I also really like sleeping at night. And the only way I can sleep at night is if I'm a good person and do the right thing. And you,
oh fucking hell! You know, thinking about
that only
his
works
future.
for good people, Boogie. That's your fatal flaw.
Yeah. The only way I can sleep at night is if I lie about being diagnosed with cancer and trick my audience.
Use this channel responsibly, so that's how I'm going to do it moving forward. You may not always agree with it, you may not always think we're on the same page, and if we don't, that's okay. We can agree to disagree.
Boogie resets his channel for the 2,954th time.
My sense of humor, my goofiness, my weirdness, my offensive humor, because just some people were looking for that, looking to be offended by that, coming to that stream with the sole desire of finding something that they might be offended by, but also then sharing it with as many people as they could so that they would be offended by me as well.
Storytime rambling videos, which were once uplifting, inspirational, and designed to help his viewers, began to feel like they were being made with the goal of receiving sympathy pity from the audience.
Sharing who and what I am has been counterproductive.
Are there other kinds of pity that
So the thing about it is, though, because obviously all these videos have their own opinions about it, but I would argue that it was never not that. He always did that from the get-go. It's just that I think when you have less history to draw on, it does come across as more genuine. It would.
Quite a bit in the last year or so. Mostly when it comes to the mental issues, the anxiety, the depression, stuff like that. Dealing with arthritis, I'm dealing with my inability to walk, I'm dealing with being housebound almost, I'm dealing with having a lot of issues. I'm struggling with a lot of stuff, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff up in here. I have an anxiety disorder, and I also have chronic depression. So my legs, my back are just killing me, and my head is killing me.
I mean, just save us some time. Tell us which parts of your body or brain aren't fucked up.
Yeah, which ones work? He's like, my nose.
His mouth.
On me, and I went home to help.
Really muscular arm.
I was there about a week before she died, and I gave her a good death.
What?
I gave her a good death. It's all about his mum. Because she was dying, he went to see her. And this set of clips, this one's... I mainly want to warn Fringy. He has trouble with cringe sometimes.
Oh,
get ready.
Yes, I do.
Get ready. This is some of the cringiest shit.
Suck it up, buttercup.
So this is specifically designed to draw hyper sympathy out of people. He's gone to where his mother is laid to rest, and he's sitting on a fucking comfy chair that they brought there, I guess, and he's talking directly to her. Now, could you believe literally any fucking person on planet Earth would think what he's doing here is genuine? Just, I really want you to appreciate how awful the acting is.
I tried to go to the house, but you weren't there. And I don't know if you're here. But I want to tell you something. Do you remember that YouTube video I filmed of you?
Oh, he's got a cameraman.
Oh. Yeah.
There's another person in there.
Yes.
Yep.
He's playing up his accent.
Oh, dude, this just progressively gets worse. Get ready.
Also, this is apparently the mother that apparently either raped, molested him, or both as well. So,
depending on the day, the story changes.
So he should be glad she's dead.
Well, surely, yeah.
He said, "Yeah, the wicked bitch is dead."
Also, give me a sec. Watch together. Up. Right at this point, I was super excited for you to see how it pays off, but it's I think it's Chrome. It's like having the live stream.
I'm glad that they
section open. It like just I don't think it would be called a memory bleed, but it just freezes the browser eventually until I essentially like close off the tab.
Do you need to are you gonna task manager Chrome away and then just reopen it again?
Well, so
make sure all the background.
All I have is the watch together tab and then the YouTube video we're watching. That's it. So
it'll still
I'm saying I cross them off and then redo them. It's just what I've been doing each time and it works.
Maybe just a different browser then.
Grab Firefox or something.
I'll try that offline because like for now this is working.
Sure. Okay.
Thousands of people, saying tens of thousands, and I know you're embarrassed, but they love you because you gave birth to me.
Oh, they love you. Gave birth to me. Oh, Jesus Christ! Fucking Napoleon over here.
It's like the worst thing I think I've ever heard.
They love you, Mom, because you.
I want to be clear.
I cannot.
People have been talking about Boogie because of his hyper horrible acts in the last few weeks. This is all stuff from ages ago. I guess we haven't even caught up in any way. This is all just lore, all right? You gotta see all this to understand the context. And yeah, he He thinks somewhat highly of himself, you could say.
Dang.
I know this won't make too much sense to you, but 4.5 million people have watched my videos. And Mom, people said...
No, well, he got that wrong.
Oh, no. Please, no.
Strap in.
People said I've saved their lives.
I love you. I always have, I always will. I want you to know I understand. It was hard.
He looks like a lady. He looks like the bearded lady at the circus.
It's so
Dude, he's
bad.
about to bleed his lightsaber.
One of the key shits from him is just the no tears ever. It's
no.
Every time he does his
He had them
fucking
surgically
thing.
removed.
Oh jeez, Mama. Mama, we did it, Mama.
We did it, Mama.
This is man, I can't imagine doing this to a departed loved one.
I know, right? I know.
Anything
Selling her
for
out.
views. Anything for views.
And I know you've done your best.
My house is not as clean as I want it to be. I just... that everything is kind of awful. Nothing affects me emotionally very much at all. I'm kind of dead inside. But here's the truth, and I see no reason to say anything other than truth. As you guys know, I went through a divorce and I went through gastric bypass surgery, and my depression and anxiety has been worse.
Hey,
than
don't worry, Boogie. You beat the gastric bypass surgery.
Yeah, it had no effect.
He
We're
got
immune.
calorotherapy, and he cured the gastric bypass.
Exhausted pretty easily because I'm really fat, but mentally I am just drained.
When do you think's the
Sleep
last
until
time
my
that dog went for a walk?
Well, we can just go. When was the last time he posted a video? Yeah,
I know he's a little dog. He's not like a Labrador or a Husky or like a farm, like a sheepdog.
Oh wait,
but
remember
still.
he's got a roommate. He probably takes the dogs for walks.
Oh, okay, all right, that's okay.
Anxiety and my nightmares wake me up, and then I'll transfer to my living room and sit in my recliner.
His views, perhaps unsurprisingly, began to not be what they were, because people knew what a Boogie video would be. It would be 10 minutes of complaining. People have busy lives, and Boogie didn't really care if it was hurting his channel or not. All that mattered to him was if it helped someone.
So even if it's damaging to my YouTube channel, even if it's damaging to my brand, if it helps just one person, you got to do it anymore. Nobody wants to hear about my problems. They don't want to hear about my mental health, my physical health, because you guys are dealing with your own issues. You're dealing with your own problems. So why do you want to hear about mine, right? All of this, all of the outwardly trouble, it all really comes down to childhood onset complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Something that came up in therapy recently that I want to share with you is I don't allow myself to get help, and I don't help myself because I don't feel I've earned or deserve that help. Yay! If you're someone who wants to support me, I want you to make a pledge today. Let me know in the comments section below if you pledge to do this. I want you to hit subscribe. I want you to hit notifications. And when you see one of my videos, and
you see the sound of those lovely Arkansan cicadas in the back. It's summertime, baby.
They're trying to protect us. They're trying to overpower him.
They are. Oh, it's
recommended. When you see them on your notifications, when you see them in your sub box, you will click on them. You will drop a like. You will leave a comment, and you'll watch the video in its entirety. And if you really want to go above and beyond, share it with someone you think.
Oh god, look at the sweat around where his neck has leaned over. Where it goes over and it creates an area of high temperature.
Well, that's why he couldn't cry in the other video, because there's just no moisture left. It's all gone to his neck.
No moisture. Oh, people are saying F. Stream, all right?
I'm refreshing to see. Let me see. Looks. I think all you got to do is refresh it, and then it should be good.
Okay.
It was like 5-10 seconds of buffering by the looks of it, but yeah, looks like it's back up.
Good.
I think I might like it. My mother never raped me. My mother did molest me.
He claims his dad did rape him.
Here we
In
go.
this tweet, he also claims to have
My
been
favorite
raped
bit.
as a kid.
Was I taped as a kid?
I was.
I was taped as a kid.
I was taped and it made me who I am.
Oh, like Michael Jackson?
Wait, he's finally taken a position. Is rape good? No.
Well, let's
What
not
a
get-
hardliner. Well
let's not
done,
be too harsh
dude.
about rape now. Come on now.
fucking opinion ever.
I'm not. Okay, rape's not good, but I'm not saying that it's all bad.
Literally, yeah, that's what he says in this
wait.
tweet.
No, he does go back to being a centrist.
He's a fucking fed sitter again.
No! Raped as a kid, and notwithstanding, claims that some good came of it. He had indeed been raped and that he'd forgiven his rapist, that his sister was molested by their dad, followed by the claim that his sister was gang raped in foster care. However, in a clip of his stream...
That's another question that I have if I ever get into a call with Boogie. Are his brother and sister okay with him revealing the fact that they were raped? If that's even true. Have they said, okay, Boogie, go to your live audience and tell everyone that we were abused along with you?
Especially,
have they done that?
Do they know the context as well, that all of what he says is scrutinized as lies?
Yeah.
Do they understand, like, in the stuff about the mom and the dad and whether or not it's true, have they commented at all on any of this? Or have they been saying, stop slandering our parents? Or
I know that his brother came on the Lolcow Live and kind of agreed with Boogie and, like, he admitted it, that he was molested as well. I don't know about the sister. But I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the sister does not want this information out there at all.
No,
who would?
It's very personal, yeah.
Says that his parents, plural, had raped him. In another of his Reddit essays, he follows the claims that he'd been raped with stories about how his mother stabbed him, his sister was almost beaten to death, his dad punching him, I was molested by an older sibling, female at a young age. I remember very little of it, but enough to know that this wasn't just further stuff related to my Munchausen syndrome that my mother was famous for. Certainly inappropriate contact was made between me and my older sister several times when I was 3 to 4. Beyond that, my mother insisted something happened with another family member. I have no personal recollection of that, so I've always presumed that my mother was lying. But as I get older and more evidence rises to the top, the more I believe there is truth in it. What's even more complicated is that my relationship with my mother was certainly inappropriate, and those details I will take to my grave. His sister, who is on Twitter...
Well, I feel like when you talk about... You can't... you can't halfway it. You can't say, oh, I was molested or raped or whatever as a kid, but all the details and the evidence and stuff,
Rags,
I'll take that to my grave.
It's literally what he did with the cancer. It's what he's always done.
It is.
He doesn't
I'll
let
tell
you.
everyone
Like
I have the cancer, but if you ask me any questions, those I'm taking to the grave.
He's leveraged so much benefit in his life from these topics, and so when people start to be like, okay, we need some proof, he's like, how fucking dare you? I will never, ever give you such personal details in my life. It's like, what? It's all you do.
Deny that this took place.
Yeah, so I think earlier as well, if like, you know, it's like such a sensitive thing, people don't want to talk about it or speak on it, right? So he relies on that, especially with the rape and the molestation stuff. But you kind of like have to inquire a bit, you know?
Boogie doubled down.
So that's interesting. Those two screenshots that just came up on screen there, that's the sister saying, fuck no, she denies it. And now Boogie is here saying in this screenshot that I have never seen before, that she's denying it because obviously she wouldn't agree to it. She doesn't want it out there. But you put that out there, Boogie. You put that information out there.
Yeah,
against
you force them into this situation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's a really insanely shitty thing to do.
The two primary people getting accused are dead, so Boogie can say whatever the fuck he wants, I guess. And then the third one has said it didn't happen, and he's like, yeah, but that's what a rapist would say.
On saying that she raped him.
Every time he opened his mouth in defense of himself, he only made things worse. And that's how perception of him changed. Besides again failing his New Year's resolution, he imparts the information that he is, quote, a chronic peacekeeper. Confrontation.
Chronic peacekeeper.
Triggers some of my issues, and I seek to avoid it at all costs.
3 months after the mega thread was posted, Boogie would upload a new video titled "Taking a Break, I Give Up, You Guys Win," in which he'd state that
music.
I know, right?
Like he's gonna fucking gun people down at the airport right there.
It's all about being anxious.
No, he's come to dump some Mountain Dew in a bin.
It is that video. It is.
I used to watch
and that's bad too. A shooting at the airport. Here, look, the Little Rock Airport has one terminal. It's a hallway, right? If he's coming to get people, it's bad luck.
Hello, you just listened to a segment of the podcast Every Frame a Pause, or EFAP. Hosted by YouTubers Mauler, Rags, and Fringy, and joined by a cycling variety of guests across the internet, they critically analyze media with exhaustive detail while pausing at every single frame. Subscribe to the EFAP channel and catch new episodes on Saturdays, as well as catch their smaller videos reacting to the latest and not-so-greatest movies and TV shows throughout the week. You can also subscribe here to EFAP Highlights for the latest shorts, clips, and supercuts, also uploaded throughout the week. Links to all the relevant channels can be found in the description section below, as well as links to their communities on Reddit and Discord. Thanks for watching.